O tayo po ay dadako na sa ating pong panglimang lecture. At ang ating pong lecturer ay isa po sa mga alos kabatch ko. At kabatch ko sa PLA, kabatch 2021 at ganoon din po sa SYL. Pati sa mga summit, ganun po. Siya po ang isa po sa mga kasamahan ko. At ang ating pong lecturer sa gabing ito ay ang kasalukuyan po nating nagsaserve as Pathfinder Coordinator dito po sa ating pong area. At siya na rin po ang ating pong at pinanggagalingan ng ibang mga resources natin, mga soft copies at mga hard copies na rin basta may fund lang po mga kapatid. Ang ating pong lecturer ay walang iba kundi si Master Guide Raenel Manangan. So let us give the time to Master Guide Raenel Manangan sa kanya pong lecture na Creative Youth Ministry.
Okay, so my topic this evening is about creative youth ministry, thinking outside the box. Okay. Ako po ay nagtuturo ng media and information literacy at ito yung isa sa medyo matindi naming topic, yung thinking outside the box. So this talks about brainstorming. This talks about thinking about your thinking for you to have a better thinking and to have a better ministry. Okay. So next tayo. Tayo gumana ng aking ayun. So module objectives, number 1 is to assist the local AY leader in the art of relevant creative programming, incorporating a comprehensive structure that is aligned with the annual themes of the General Conference Youth Ministries. Learn to create a well-balanced program that incorporates the physical, the social, intellectual, and emotional components that assist the youth in building their faith in Jesus. And lastly, adapt the AY ministry programs to youth without neglecting the key objectives of the youth department as outlined by the First World Youth Director with the blessings of Ellen G. White. Ayan. Before I proceed and continue, I would like to ask kung sino man po yung gustong sumagot. What are the keywords that we can be able to connect to the word creative for us to be able to have a creative youth ministry? Yan. Ano-ano po yung mga words na pwede nating or yes, mga attributes. Ayan. What are the different attributes that we can be able to connect to the word creative for us to be able to have a creative youth ministry? Ayan. Anyone na gusto pong sumagot, pwede po kayong mag-unmute at magdagdag ng isang attribute para sa word na creative para tayo po ay makagawa ng creative youth ministry program.
Resourceful, sir.
Ayun, resourcefulness. Okay. So being creative, you must be resourceful. Anybody else po?
Strategy daw. Strategy.
Okay. Strategic. Meron pa po ba?
Idealistic.
Planning.
Idealistic.
Planning.
Yes. Planning. Sige po. Dagdagan pa po natin. Yan, gusto ko rin magdagdag. Dapat ay enthusiastic din tayo. Ayun. So any more? Would like to add some attributes.
Innovative.
Ayun. Innovative. Yes. Innovative.
Realistic.
Realistic. Yes. Parang hindi ko na kailangang lecture to, Sir Elmer. Okay, shall we continue po? Okay, shall we continue? So, what is creative AYM or AY Adventist Youth Ministries programming? According to Ellen White, the need for church leaders to find the best and most interesting ways to disciple the youth for Christ are as follows. When the youth give their hearts to God, that's number 1. Give your hearts to God. Our responsibility for them does not cease. They must be interested in the Lord's work and led to see that He expects them to do something to advance His cause. And I would like to stop on that part. Ito kasi yung problema na, this is one of our problems right now because AY or Adventist youth are more interested in the worldly things rather than the Lord's work. And by doing this creative AY programming, we can be able to give them or to change their interests. Okay. It is not enough to show how much needs to be done and to urge the youth to act apart. They must be taught how to labor for the master. They must be trained, disciplined, drilled in the best methods of winning souls to Christ. Teach them to try in a quiet, unpretending way to help their young companions. Let different branches of missionary effort be systematically laid out in which they may take part, and let them be given instruction and help. Thus, they will learn to work for God. I can still remember when I was the advisor of the grade 10 in NLAC. I will not tell you the name of the student, but siya yung pinaka makapasaway na estudyante. So in the Pathfinder program in NLAC, siya yung pinakapasaway, siya yung nagsisimula lagi ng gulo, siya yung nagsisimula lagi ng rumors dun sa may bandang likod, and so on and so forth. Siya lagi. So I thought of a solution for it. And that is by giving him a task. So sa madaling sabi, ginawa ko siyang part ng staff. Ayun, ginawa ko siyang part ng staff. Now, nung naging staff na siya at meron na siyang part na gagawin, effective, Sir Elmer, hindi na siya pasaway. But instead, yung mga ideas niya, meron pala siyang mga gandang ideas na siya lang ang may idea na ganon, wherein meron pala tayong mga AY na ganon din sa ating church natin ngayon. Hindi lang natin sila binibigyan ng pagkakataon. They have that kind of enthusiasm for the work. They have that kind of enthusiasm for the ministry and to lead other young people also. So kung meron kayong mga pasaway na AY sa inyong mga church at ang hirap ninyong disiplinahin, give them tasks to do. Okay. Now, basic program structure of the AYM. Now, within the parameters of your personality and that of your group, adapt your leadership style, program, format, content, and approach to provide the following. Now, for us to be able to know the personality of our Adventist youth, kailangan magkaroon muna tayo ng close relationship with them. Ayan. Close relationship, hindi love relationship with them. Okay, close relationship with them. So talk to them, bond with them, and know their personalities. And then after that one, you can now be able to give them the spiritual gift exam. By giving them the spiritual gift exam, you can now be able to know their talents. You can now be able to know their gifts. And you can now be able to put them kung saan man sila mag-fit. Ayan. Kasi mahirap. Ito yung isang problema natin na napansin ko in my past leadership sa mga AY. Yun bang nilalagay natin yung mga AY natin doon sa part na hindi naman pala nila alam. That's why they do not act accordingly. So hindi siya marunong magpawit. Bakit mo siya papaawitin? Something like that, di ba? Hindi niya alam mag-preach, and then you give them preaching assignments. Now, before we do that, we must know their personality first. We must know their leadership style first, and then give training to them before you put them on that place. So yun kasi para bang sa mga professional, para bang job mismatch. Okay, job mismatch. So those are the basic things that we need to do for us to have this basic structure program for our Adventist youth. Now, ito yung una. So have fellowship with them, lift their spirits. Yung iba kasi, some leaders, they think that when they something like parang pagagalitan pa kapag nagkamali, but instead na ililift mo sana yung kanyang espiritu or give him encouragement to continue, most of the leaders right now Eh, para bang ida-down pa nila. Hindi ka kasi nagganito, may ganito kasi, ganyan, ganyan, and so on and so forth. So, let us lift our spirits. I can still remember in one of the lecture of Pastor Brian Tolentino, sabi niya doon, yung ating mga AYs, hindi pala, tayo palang lahat ay may tatlong klase ng counselors. Ayan. We have three different types of counselors. The first counselor and the first and foremost counselors that we have is our God. And we can be able to know His counsels by reading the Bible. The second counselor that we have are the pastors. And the third one are your godly parents. Okay, yung godly parents natin, yung mga ninong-ninang, mga magulang natin, or godly people that is around us, those are the best counselors that we have. Now, kapag down na down ka na, ay lalapit ka sa kanila para humingi ng advice, humingi ng lift up, para bang hihingi ka ng push, tulak ng konti, para umangat ka ng konti kasi down na down ka na nga. Because that is one of the problems of leaders. Because when you are a leader, you will never expect somebody to lift you up. Ikaw as a leader, you will lift up yung mga sumusunod sa'yo. But you as a leader, sino magli-lift sa'yo? Who will give you encouragement? Well, the answer for that are those three counselors that we have as leaders. First one is God. The second one are our pastors. And the third one are our godly parents. Okay. Next, sense of participation and involvement. So ito yung example ko kanina. Hindi ko nasasabihin kung sinong estudyante yon. Pasaway talaga siya. He doesn't want to participate. But when I gave him an office as a staff, he involved himself and he led the whole pathfinder of the NLAC for that certain school year. Yeah. Next, sense of enjoyment. Ito. So, nabanggit din ni Pastor Manlungat kagabi sa investiture ng NLAC Picas na kailangan magkaroon na ng church-based pathfinder in every churches in NLM so that the sense of enjoyment in the AY program will come back. I would like to cite my experience during the pandemic. Now, during the pandemic, wala kaming magawa. Together with the staff of the Master Guide, sila King Bipulan, sila Adonis Antulan, sila Sir Jopper, sila Serge. So, stuck kasi kami sa loob ng NLAC. So, how can we be able to give or to put or to bring back enjoyment in our AOY program? Kasi yung AOY namin, ilan-ilan lang kami nag-AOY. Mga 19, 20, mga ganun lang yung bilang namin. Now, we tried to incorporate the Pathfinder program in the AY ministry. So in the AY ministry, inopen namin yung aming checklist. Ano ba yung pwede natin gawin dito? But before that, sir, saan tayo kukuha ng theme? Sabi niya, saan tayo iikot? So nagsimula kami kay Galatians 5, verse 22. If you know that verse, doon kami kumuha ng mga theme namin every month. And in every program that we did, all of us enjoyed. And on the first Sabbath that we did that, meron kaming 21 members attended. On the second Sabbath, na-doble po kami, 40 plus na kami. On the third Sabbath, na-triple na kami. Ayan, na-triple na kami. And on the next Sabbath, na-maintain na namin yung bilang namin na gano'n na 60, 70 na AY every afternoon because there is a sense of enjoyment. And they learn not just the recreational programs that we did, but they learn spiritual aspects of the honors. They also learned new skills, and they gained additional friends. Ayun. So, sense of enjoyment. Next, of course, hindi palagi dapat na yung program natin ay ganun na lang na opening inspiration, opening prayer, presider, tapos special song, tapos may Bible game, may Bible quiz, may song game, tapos short talk, tapos closing song side by side, tapos uwian na kaagad. Ayan. What we did during the pandemic time is that, di ba, yung fruit of the Spirit. So that is our theme, the fruit of the Spirit. So the fruit of the Spirit is love. On the first month, love ang aming theme. Joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So 9 months yun. na aming program. Sir, paano yung 3 months? Nagsimula po kami ng mga by March or April na yon kasi pandemic time na yon. So, yun ay hanggang December namin. So, love. On the first day, on the first Sabbath, na yung love ang aming theme, outdoor activity kami kaagad. That is why, nung nakita ng mga dormitorians that we have outdoor activities in the AY program, yun yung naging simula na pumupunta na sila sa AY programs. On the next Sabbath, love pa rin. Pero, lecture naman sa church. And then we have our activity in the church, inside the church. The next, nag-visitation na kami to show our love to the community in NLAC. We go out, nag-serenade kami ng mga bahay-bahay ng mga kasama nating mga hindi nag-AY kasi nga mas tulog is life daw sila. So, ayan. So, we must have a variety of programs in our relevant religions so that you can, sabi na, gain youth-oriented insights into religious beliefs and traditions, see and accept the relevance of religious beliefs and traditions, understand, lagpasan natin ng konti. Ayan. Be challenged to establish or maintain a relationship with Christ through His Spirit that brings direction, joy, and genuine peace to individual's life. Ang sarap sa pakiramdam if you have this kind of gifts within you, that you can be able to bring direction to those other AYs, mga companions mo, mga kasama mo, to give directions to their lives, to be the source of joy because of the program that you did, and to have genuine peace with them. It is because you are one in the program. Magkakasama kayong lahat, hindi yung hiwa-hiwalay kayo. Now, lagpasan natin yan. Ito. Now, before you can be able to have planning, kasi ito ay connected doon sa lecture ni Sir Ramon at saka sa lecture ni Pastor Manlongat. Ayan. So, creative AY program. So, before you can be able to have a creative planning for your activities, you must have this first. Ayan. Ito, galing to kay Pastor Manlongat. Ito yung calendar of activities for the year 2023. Ito yung latest. So kung wala pa po kayo nito, you can ask Pastor Manlongat to have a copy para makapag-planning na po kayo ng inyong Creative Youth Ministry program, because that is your activity as SYL trainees dito po sa certain topic na ito. Ayan. So kailangan makagawa kayo na ito. At least 1 quarter. At least 1 quarter. Moving on. Know the various types of AY society meetings. Ano ba yung mga iba-ibang AY society meetings? Nandiyan po yung Pathfinder. Nandiyan yung Adventurer. Sama na rin natin yan. Nandiyan yung what you call this one? Yung mga care groups natin. Nandiyan yung ambassadors. Nandiyan yung mga small groups. Nandiyan yung mga care groups, nandiyan yung mga singing groups, and so on and so forth. So those are examples of these AY society meetings or AY societies that we have. Now, imagine kung makukuha mo silang lahat at mailalagay mo sila doon, ma-fit in mo sila doon sa gagawin ninyong activity, hindi kayo mawawalan ng sa gagawin ninyong program, I should say, you will never, hindi kayo mawawalan ng program sa church. So if you're, tapos may iba-iba pa tayong mga departments sa church, di ba? So kung ang program or ang theme niyo is about health, tap the health department. If your program is about music, tap the music department. If it's about temperance, if it's about yung paano nito, I forgot the term. So, if it's about temperance, you ask the deacons. Diba? If it's about preaching, you ask the pastors and the elders. So, lahat sila ngayon magkakaroon ng chance para makilahok or makisali doon sa program ng AY natin tuwing hapon. Wala nang uuwi. Diba? One thing that I missed, namimiss ko yun sa NLAC, is that every time that we have our AY program during the pandemic, we stayed until 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. As in, tinatapos namin yung program at walang umuwi. Nobody goes home and go back to the dormitory unless natapos na talaga yung program. Kahit nga si Pastor Manyes that time, napaakyat namin siya ng puno ng bayabas just to participate in our treasure hunting. Kasi meron silang grupo, sila nila Ma'am Tini, yung mga medyo thunders. So isang group sila. And they also enjoyed our AY meetings and AY programs during that time. At dahil na-enjoy nila, dahil sila yung mga thunders, sila na yung naging aming sponsor sa aming mga snack. So every Saturday, may snacks kami, may sopas, may pansit, and so on and so forth. So kasali pa rin yun sa creative programming natin. So hindi lang basta activity, dapat meron ding chibugan. Yan. Kailangan may chibugan pa rin. Okay? Next. So, on the regular or weekly meetings, idagdag po natin yung ating outreach program. So, evangelistic meetings. AY Week of Prayer, pwede tayong lumabas for branch Sabbath School, for DBS. Yeah, we can go out for visitation, simple prayer, going house to house, doing simple prayer, sing a song, and then have a chat with them. Nakakagaan po ng pakiramdam yun ng ating mga binibisita. So, isa yun sa mga activity na dapat meron tayo sa ating AY program. Kaso kung minsan kasi, pag yung mga matatanda, tamad na silang lumabas kasi matatanda na sila. So siguro naman ay pwede tayo mag-iwan ng ibang AY sa church and then pwede sila mag-program doon para hindi naman naiitsa pera. Kasi yun yung isang problema natin. Sabi niya, naiitsa pera kami sa inyo kaya hindi na kami nag-join. So dapat inclusive pa rin yung lahat ng magiging program natin. So, ito. So, kapag nakuha nyo po itong calendar of schedule, if you have already the calendar of schedule, the first thing that you're going to put in your calendar of schedule in your church, ilalagay nyo muna yung mga major programs of the missions. After putting all the major programs of the missions, you go to the conference. You get also a copy of their calendar of activities for AY from the conference because we have conference-wide activities. So you put also the schedules for the conference-wide activities. After putting all those together, the mission-wide and the conference-wide activities, now that is the time that you're going to fill up the gaps. So doon sa mga bakanteng Sabbats, doon nyo po ilalagay yung inyong magiging activity inside the church for your Adventist Youth program in the afternoon. I hope that's clear to everyone. Let us now know these five basic needs of the youth. Ito. This is also the same with yung lecture ko sa isang lesson ko sa school under MIL. Kasi si MIL ay Media Information Literacy, but it talks about good manners and right conduct. It talks about how to behave properly. Now, Adventist youth or our youth today, if you are not going to teach them and introduce them who God is, somebody else will introduce someone else. Ayan. Pag hindi mo tinuro at hindi mo pinakilala sa kanya ang Panginoon, may ibang magpapakilala sa kanya eh. Iba yung magiging pakilala sa kanya. So mawawala na yung kanyang, mawawala na yung kanyang spiritu. So instead na mag-stay siya sa loob ng church, iba yung nagpakilala, doon siya sasama ngayon. Kaya we must have these basic needs of the youth. We must address it to them. Acceptance, that is number one. Kasi mga kabataan, merong peer pressure. We have peer pressure. Kapag yung barkada mo nag-yoyosi, you do not belong to them. Di ba? Maya-maya, nag-yoyosi ka na din para, belong. Di ba? So, umiinom, mga ganon, and so on and so forth. Now, inside the church, if we are going to give them the acceptance that they need, mas malaki yung chance na mag-stay sila sa loob ng church. And also give them recognition. So dapat meron ding konting praise, meron ding konting prize. Praise and then prize, di ba? So doon sa mga ginagawa nilang accomplishments inside the church. Hindi yung may nagawa silang accomplishments tapos hindi mo man lang sila i-recognize kahit simple certificate lang iabot mo sa kanila at na-recognize sila doon sa kanilang ginawa ay malaking upliftment na po yun sa kanila. Ayan. Tayo nga sa Master Guide, di ba? Master Guide and Pathfinder program, makareceive lang tayo ng patch na kaliit-liit. Tapos yung patch na yon, yung honor patch na yun, ikaw pa yung bumili, ikaw pa yung nagbayad. Pero i-award sa'yo sa investiture. Ang sarap sa pakiramdam, Pastor Manlongat. Yung kaliit-liit na pin. Naghirap ka para ma-achieve mo yung pin na yon, tapos ikaw pa yung bibili ng pin mo para i-award sa'yo sa investiture. Pero pag na-receive mo yung award, ang sarap sa pakiramdam. How much more to these young people in the church? Bibigyan mo sila ng simple token because of what they did. Di ba? Okay, next. Affection. Ito. Ano bang klaseng affection? Damayan natin sila. Kasi may mga problema yan na hindi nila ino-open sa kanilang mga magulang. At naghahanap yan. They are looking for somebody whom they can trust and they can open their problem. So we must give affection to them. Kasi there is a survey na ginawa. Why is it that Adventist youth leave the church? 90% ba o 89%, almost 90%, it is because walang kumusta sa kanila. Hindi mo man lang kinumusta yung AY. Nabinyagan lang, pagkatapos nabinyagan, hindi na kinumusta. So, ayun, dahil wala namang, parang bang useless, yun yung feeling nila, useless naman ako dito, wala man lang mangungumusta, mga something ganun. Wala man lang affection inside the church, that's why they leave the church. And then they look for somebody who will give them affection. Kaso, ang nakakita sa kanila, yung mga barkada sa labas. So, doon yung nakita yung affection. So, instead of going to church, pupunta na siya doon. Di ba? That's why we need to give this to our AY. Next, success and achievement. That's all. This is almost the same with recognitions. Okay, give them success and achievement by what? During trainings. I would like to share the words of Kuya Brian Tolentino ulit. When we first started our PLA doon sa San Fabian. Yeah, sa San Fabian. Sabi niya lang, the success of a leader is seen in his followers. So kung hindi ka, magiging successful ka lamang kapag nakikita mo na silang sumusunod na sa'yo at yung bang sumusunod sa yapak mo bilang leader. Discipleship. Ayan. So that is success. Achievement, at the end of this month, bigyan mo naman sila ng konting pakain. Di ba? Achievement, it is because you have been very good at maganda yung ating AY program. So meron tayong social night. Di ba? Social night lang ang katapat niyan. Makamarching man lang nila yung kapartner nila, maka-holding hands ng ganyan, achievement. Success of the program. Pag nag-success ang program, it is also the success of our AYs. Next, give them new experiences. One rule in creating a good program, a creative program for the AY is to try. Ayan. Let us try one activity that we never did or we had before. Yung hindi mo pa nasusubukan, yung hindi pa nasubukan ng mga AYs ninyo, ipatry mo sa kanila at least once a quarter. And I tell you, they will never leave the church anymore. And they will become more and more rigid in doing the ministry. Sa Pathfinder, maraming ganito eh. Mas marami kasi akong experience sa Pathfinder. Konti lang sa SYL. More on lectures and trainings kasi yung ginawa ko sa SYL ko nung kinokompleto ko yung portfolio ko. More on lectures. So new experiences. Sa school, there are students who never tried to have campings. And when you bring them to camping, pinagluto mo sila ng itlog sa papel. Wow. This is a new experience for me. Sabi niya. Pinaakyat mo siya ng Monkey Bridge. First time umakyat ng Monkey Bridge. New experience. Now, inside the church, may mga activities na hindi pa nila nasusubukan. So, we must add at least one new experience. At kahit once a quarter lang, or once every 6 months kung medyo maliit ang budget. So, ganun. Next, ito, security and sense of belonging. So, security and sense of belonging. If they go to church and they feel secured, they will go back to the church. If they have problem, they will go to church. If they are happy because they are secured in the church, they will go to church. If they feel that they belong to the Adventist Youth Ministry in the church, hindi na po aalis yung mga AY natin. Tayo nga. Di ba? Tayo nga, if we feel belong, di ba? We always go back there, dadaan tayo doon, and then we always remember those things. And kahit nasaan man sila mapuntang church, they have this sense of security and belongingness. They will look for our church. Okay, now we have here 6 fundamental of the AYM objectives. Okay, number 1 is to raise the level of devotional life in the youth. So if you're going to open our checklist, the first thing there is you and God. Sabi niyo doon. Yun yung first part ng ating checklist sa SYL. You and God. For you to have your own devotional every day. Next, to lift the standard of the attainment of the youth. This is about you and you. Okay, you and you. Yun yung nakalagay sa checklist natin. Na kapag na-attain mo yung isang part ng you and you na yun, you will feel like parang, wow, ako pa ang gumawa nito. Ganun. So, na-attain nila yon, meron silang success, meron silang kailangang i-accomplish. Ayan, sense of accomplishment. Next is to educate and train the youth for service. Now, if you have learned it already, all you need to do is to share it to others. Ang pangit naman na ikaw lang yung natututo, selfish ang tawag doon eh. So if you learn how to do this one, you share it to others also. If you got it for free, sabi nga ni Ubuntu, if you know Ubuntu, si Ubuntu po ay isang software program, OS siya. Sabi nun, if you got it for free, you give it for free also. Pero mayroon pa kasing isang kaisipan. Nag-training ako, nagbayad ako. Pagbabayarin ko rin ba yung aking mga iti-training? Di ba? Nasa sa inyo na po yun kung anong sagot niyo doon. But for me, most of the time, kapag nag-training ako, pumunta ako sa isang seminar, I paid for the seminar when I go back to church. Pumunta ako sa high school sa NLAC, pumunta ako sa mga master guide sa NLAC, I give it for free to them. Next, to provide opportunities for outreach and service. And do not just stay inside the church, you go out. Just like our mission in Matthew. Sabi niya, go and preach to all nations, not just to the church. If they will not go to the church will go to them. Ayan. Sino ba yung church? The church, sabi na, it is the building. If they will not enter the building, the church, which is the member, will go out and go to them. Okay, next, to teach the principles of stewardship. Okay, in stewardship, it is not just about giving tithes. It is not just about giving offerings. It is your stewardship to your time, stewardship to your body, and every aspect of your life. And the last, to lead youth to discover their individual worth and develop and discover their spiritual gifts. That's why we have from the GC website the spiritual gifts exam for you to be able to know your spiritual gifts. And later on, pagkatapos ng lecture ko, I will send the link in our chat box for you to be able to have access to it. Okay, now creating youth programming by the servant leader model. This is, I would like to read, the success of conducting and the programs using the youth will engage them to motivate them to come up with creative ways to conduct the program. Remember that a youth ministry program should be done for the youth and by the youth. Our youth have many exciting ways to run programs, and this alone will create a buy-in from them because they are involved in owning the program. Take note, SYL trainees and master guides. If you are the leader of this AY, hindi porke leader ka ay ikaw na yung masusunod sa lahat ng bagay. No, it is still better to have a leadership like a democratic leadership. Ito ginawa ko na to minsan and I would like to share, and it is very good. Sabi ko nga doon sa amin, we are 18 yung aking staff, ako yung pang 19, and I opened inopen ko yung programming ng programs. So, yun ang nangyari. Lahat sila hiningian ko ng ideas nila and then nagkaroon kami ng deliberation. Kasama ako doon. Nagbigay din ako ng idea ko. And then after that one, pinagsama-sama namin lahat ng program namin. Unlike yung ikaw lang yung nag-iisip ng program and hindi mo sila sinasali doon sa programming mo, how can they be able to execute the program if they do not know the program? Diba? It is much better na bigyan mo sila ng chance din na magsabi or magbigay ng kanilang inputs so that kapag yung input mo na, yung i-execute, they will also support you. If the input is from them, you also support them. Because this program should be done by the youth, for the youth, and not to anybody else, not just to yourself. Ayan, malapit na po akong matapos. Dalawa na lang to eh. Ayan, so dalawa na lang to. Gusto ko lang po basahin itong sa may second paragraph. The youth leader and their youth need to consult together to find the best style of conducting any given program that will incorporate variety, interest, and strong biblical foundation. Each week, a different box, a different program. Every month, a different theme. And then all of the youth of your group would have had experience of conducting a program. So nandun yung inclusion. Hindi mawawala yung inclusion. And even other members of the church. Sabi niya, Pastor Joe, ano ba talaga ang age bracket ng AY? Kasi sabi nila hanggang 35 years old. Pero doon sa CMT natin, bakit may 72 years old?
Ano? 16 years old pataas kapag may asawa na hanggang 35. Pero pag wala pa, diretso yan hanggang 80.
Oh, okay. Paano ako, Pastor? May asawa na ako pero ang puso ko pa rin nasa AY. Pwede pa rin ba ako sa AY?
Hindi ka na AY pero instructor ka.
A1.
A1 na. Pero yung ang aking tungkol dito is that if your heart, yung puso mo pa rin ay nasa AY, AY ka pa rin. Di ba? Hindi naman pwedeng, uy, may asawa ka na, doon ka na sa kabila. Ang pangit naman ng gano'n, di ba? Pero sabi nga ni Pastor, hanggang 80 years old, di ba? Kahit hanggang mamatay ka na, AY, goods, pwede pa yun. Okay.
Pwede ka pa naman, sir. Pwede kang maging advisor at sponsor.
Ayun, sponsor. Sponsor ng alin. Darating tayo dyan. Okay. Ito, a 6-step AY programming aid. So, unang-una, have an outline. Kolektahin mo muna lahat ng ideas nila. After collecting all the ideas, lahat ng outline na yon, you deliberate. The second one, meet with the council. After meeting with the council, you are going to select your plan. Pipili na kayo kung alin doon yung activities ninyo. And then the third one, ito, you must fill in the major events first. And major events first from the NLM for the mission and for the conference-wide. Then after that, proceed and fill up the local church events. And then after filling all the events, yung mga mangyayaring activities niyo, number 5 is to fill the dates and the venue and the types of activities that you are going to do. And take note, kapag may mga ganito po tayong program, kailangan ay tinatap natin ang ating church board. Especially if you're going to go out. Especially kung may kasaling pera. Ayan, kasi ang ating mga AY, hindi pa naman nagtatrabaho yan, but some of them are already professionals. But to those who are not yet professionals, kailangan natin mag-tap. Ayan, diyan na pumapasok yung sponsorship. So sponsorship ng ating mga elders, ng ating mga iba pang members of the church. So kung wala kayong source o walang pera ang church, pwede kayong lumabas at magkaroon ng simpleng fundraising campaign para makapag-fundraise kayo tapos magawa ninyo yung program ninyo. So there are different kinds of fundraising. Number 1, yung pinakamadali, solicitation. Pangalawa po, gawa ka ng simple product na pwede nyong ibenta and then you sell it. Or pwede namang through service. Ayan, I can still remember one of my board mates before. Self-supporting po iyon, si Alvin Balgos. early in the morning, in a Sunday, every Sunday, he goes to the market in Rosario. He will bring his BP up and he will sit on the gate of the market. He will sit on the gate. And every people, yung mga matatanda, i-offer niya yung BP. So magpapa-BP sila ngayon. And every BP is 5 pesos. At the end of the day, meron na siyang pagkain for the whole week. How much more sa atin? Mas marami tayong mga opportunities when it comes to that. Mag-isip lang tayo ng creative na activity natin for us to be able to raise funds for our creative program in the church. Okay. So types of AY weekly programs. Nagpasan ko na ito kasi alam naman na natin to. Ayan, so spiritual nurture program, evangelism, outreach, training, discussion, visits, Bible study, recreation, community service, and mission outreach service. Ito po yung mga diniscuss ko na in the previous slides. Now, servant leader model, sabi niya dito, I do it, they watch. I do it, they help. They do, I help. They do, I watch. Diba? This is para bang learning by doing. Ayan. So ito yung learning by doing sa mga education major po diyan. Now, the ultimate goal is that we may present everyone perfect, mature, complete, full in Christ, to prepare God's people for works of service so that the body of Christ may be built up. That is from Colossians 1 verse 8 and Ephesians 4 verse 12. Ayan, lagpasan na natin ito. Now, okay na to. Natapos na natin to kanina. Okay. Okay. Ito, natapos na rin yan. Okay. Na-discuss na natin kanina. Na-advance na ng konti. Lagpasan na natin. I think that the end. I think that is the end. Now, mga kapwa ko master guides at mga SYL trainees. There's a verse here. Ayan, nakikita nyo pa yung screen ko, tama? Bakit? Pabaka dito. Yan, ayun. Ito siya. In 1 Peter 2 verse 9, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should shew forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous lights. And before I end, kung wala po kayong maisip na ibang mga program at activities, meron po tayong resources. Ito na, i-share ko na po ito sa inyo noon. Itong Pathfinder Honors. We have more than 500 honors na pwede nating i-incorporate sa ating AY program. Kung hindi po kayo makaisip at makagawa ng program pa na iba, pwede po tayong magsangguni sa ating Pathfinder Honors. Ayan, nandito po lahat. Just access this link or I will send it to our group or our chat later on, chat box. Nandito po lahat. Ayan, nandito na rin po, for example, sewing. Punta tayo sa sewing. Tagal mag-load Uy, bilisan mo, napapahiya ako. Ito, so sewing. So the overview, ito yung pinaka-activity mo. Make a laundry bag for camping or similar simple item. Now, for the requirements, nandito na rin po lahat. Ito yung checklist. Ayan, ito yung checklist nung kailangan mong i-discuss sa ating mga AY. And then the answer key or the lecture, nandito po sa answer key. Ayun siya. Diba? So all you need to do is to have a simple skill for you to be able to share this one. Yan. Sabi nga ni Pastor Manlongat, you cannot share what you do not have. So before you go and have the program and have the activity, you must have it first to yourself. Yan. So kung may question po kayo, pwede pong mag-leave ng question sa ating chat box or pwede po kayo mag-unmute ng inyong mic. And nandyan po si Pastor Manlongat para sumagot. Nandyan din si Sir Elmer. Hindi ko naman si Sir Nilo. Ayan, so thank you very much po for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Wala po bang question o mamaya po after na ating pong lecture 6 para minsanan po mamaya. Okay? At share ko na po yung ating pong digital certificate.